Hey everyone, welcome to iOSGenius on the YouTube channel. I wanted to go overview on something that I saw on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I've already done it, and it did actually partially work. So this guy here on his channel is called a Hack Spot. Great subscribers. He has 500. He has other unique things on his video channels and so forth. And I wanted to state that this version that he's using, how to bypass the activation lock with check rain, which is very possible because I already did it on one of my phones so I'm an Uber driver on the weekends, and sometimes people just leave their phones in their car, but they never come back and pick them up or so forth. So it's been about 2 years that I've had this phone. No one's responded. No one from rideshare responded. So anyways, this is basically states that it supports all these devices, okay, which it could very well be and so forth. And these are the upcoming in the future. But what I wanted to talk about is that this actually works, I would say, 90% of the time. And I just don't want you guys to be scammed out there and then damage your phone and then figure out, oh great, you know what, I have activation lock cell phones or even iPads that you can't get into, and now this will work. This will get you into it, except there's a flaw to it. It will get you in to a certain extent. So let me go ahead and explain here. So let me go ahead and minimize this. So I went to that website that they have, or this guy has, which is right here, release. So if you go ahead to this link here, it's called Check Rain. This version beta it's currently now is 0.95, which is completely different of a process of what he's using here, which is 0.93. So 0.93, you actually have to do more work to get it done. I just did the 0.95 and it kind of did it all by itself. So I did make so what you do basically is you'll just go ahead and download this. Alright, so there's no older version. So there's other downloads here. Like if I wanted to download his specific version, I can go to CR releases, and then it just bounces me back to this, and then I can see the 0932, and he's running 0.93, so I can download his specific one. But even though with his specific one and the most current one, what it basically does is, here I downloaded it, you open this up, he gives specific certain instructions. Okay, drag and drop, that's normal. So let's go ahead and open applications folder. He states specifically you have to right click and open. You don't really have to do that. That's the same thing as you just double left clicking it. So now I double left click it. Now currently the phone that I have that I unlock with this procedure is connected to my device, to my Mac. So if I select on iTunes, you can see here it says there's an activation lock and it has someone's AOL and so forth. Now the thing is, it shows that it's unlocked. It shows that it's locked, but if I go to the device, which let's see if I can do that. Let's open another QuickTime here. Movie recording. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to switch this to the iPhone that I'm connected to, and it should work unless I gotta trust it on the device. Yeah, wonderful, it works. So here's a device that I've actually unlocked, but here, as you can see, iTunes opened up and it says it's still locked. So let me quit iTunes just so you can see, and then if I open iTunes again, and I'm just going to show you that, I'm playing with the phone right now, so it's working. So let me open this. Yes, Check Rain still wants to open, but give it a second just so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I'm in the phone, as you can see here. I can go through the settings, I can go through apps, so forth, but it says here at the very top, sign in with your phone, but you're not signed in. So let's see if I hit Apple iTunes, it says sign in. So it's great. It looks like it's been unlocked. But here in iTunes, it says it's still locked. So basically, let's go ahead to the next point. So we're going to go here to open. We're going to open this CheckRain. Now, when I originally opened CheckRain, what happened was it prompted me and says, hey, you have an iPhone 6, which was an iPhone 6, and it also stated that it was not supported because I was on iOS 11. So here, I can probably do that now. I'm gonna have to unplug this phone, and then let me plug in another iPhone here I have. Let's see if this works. Come on. iPhone here. This is the other iPhone. Come on. Alright, so this is the other iPhone here I have. Now this one here is not locked. Oh, correction, it was. Right. So it's not locked and no SIM card installed. This is just a spare phone. Like I'm hitting the OK button and it's not working. So what I'm trying to explain here is that if I go to CheckRain, so here it says, this is what I originally received. Sorry, iPhone 6 is supported, but it's on iOS 11 is not. So supported devices is 12.3 all the way to 13.2.2. So don't upgrade to iOS 13 because iOS 13 right now is 13.2.3. So this app, this CheckRain will not work for you unless there's a newer version that comes out later that will support 2.3. So basically this is what I ran into. So anyways, so what I did is I went ahead and I updated that iOS on the iPhone here that I have. So let me switch back. Did it switch back yet? Oh, there it is. So let me switch back to this iPhone. This is the phone that was locked through CheckRain, and this will pop up and it'll say it's activation locked. Okay, so we're back to this one. So what happens is, so now here it says here, because I updated it, so the highest it can go to is 12.4.3. So it's under the iOS 12, which is great. I'm not at 13.2.3, which will break it and you can't do anything. So this is normal mode, so forth. Now the options here you have is verbose or safe mode. You don't need to check either one of these. Now the guy on this guy's video, he has he's going through the process here somewhere. Can't see it. Okay, there. See, so he's on 093. Okay, so when he opens up, oh, there it is. So when he opens it, there's a verbose mode right here. So if I zoom in, they're not checkmark. So you just hit start because it's on a supported device. So like, let's see, what is he running here? It looks like an iPhone 10. It has 13.2.3. It's connected in normal mode, so it is supported. So he doesn't have the latest and greatest of 13.2.3. So in his video, he says once you connect the iPhone, so we can quickly press this. So he has an iPhone here that somewhere, I don't know where it is. So basically he connects his iPhone, which is right here on the right hand side. It's activation locked through a USB to his Mac and using CheckRain. Okay, so what basically CheckRain does, it runs a code which is actually a homebrew. There's an exploit that's going to your iOS device. So when you go to the iOS device and it goes through, it actually works. So see, he connects it here. It's in recovery mode. Here in iTunes, you want to make sure you select on cancel, just like he stated. So basically, all in all, and this tutorial right here that pops up, it basically tells you to press the home sleep button, then it tells you to select the volume down button, and then it tells you to press the home button, and then once you do all those procedures, then you're all good and go. Each phone will show you different instructions on the left side here. So anyways, he was doing an attempt too, because he was pushing the buttons wrong or he wasn't timely enough doing it. So then this is the brew that he gets, and I received this exactly the same. So I'm just validating this video here, but to a certain extent, once it's finalized and done, you may not be happy about it unless there's a new version out there that comes up that can rectify this issue. So I would say hold off before you start doing any of this stuff. So here it basically says you should also bash it, and this is the installation brew. So the installation brew is right here. This is the URL. So this is the same URL here that he has. Once you put this in the command, the terminal, you press enter. It's going to say the installing dependencies and so forth, but it also tells you, are you sure you want to do this? And then it tells you, enter your password, your computer password, to authorize the change. But see, in his video, it doesn't do that. It does it behind the scenes. Whereas here, I will show you another screen. Let's see. So like here it says it failed and so forth. It didn't work. He said he had to delete these known hosts. He had to go here into this folder directory, delete the known hosts. Now you is most advisable to delete this once that phone is unlocked or bypassed, because the thing is, the stuff that it's putting into your phone, and yes, please trash it as well. The thing is, this doesn't really show it. Let's see. Nope. See, it says please allow permanently add it, blah blah blah. This is so between the warning permanently add it and up here please jailbreak using checkra, there's a whole lot more stuff going in the background. So, and I'm an Apple person, Apple certified, and there's a lot of things in here that should not be happening, but it's happening. So this is basically what happens. Is right up here, last login. You can see here's the URL. Okay, great. Checking for the brew. It says you don't have brew installed on your Mac. This is my MacBook Pro. It's a 2017. Not that it really matters, but it noticed that it does not have the software on the computer to do the bypass of iCloud activation on the locked iPhone or locked iOS device. So then here it says Homebrew is required to use this tool. Please enter to automatically install it. So in his video, you're not seeing all this. And that's like the scary point, because now you're authorizing someone on your computer to do this at a remote site, and it's installing. So this script will install, and this is your user login. Local bin brew, homebrew, function, so forth. Okay, so it says it found existing directories and they're writable. So now you're getting, so for you to run this command, you had to actually enter your password. Once you enter your password, you're giving whoever this third-party person out there who's creating this, which is great, wonderful, they're using their skills, but they're accessing your Mac. So now they're creating all these directories. You're probably going to say, yeah, sure, that's fine. You know, and it's adding more directories. And then see, the existing directories have their owner. This is me. That's my user ID. So and then I already backed up my Mac before I even did this, just in case, because you never know what's going to go on. So basically, it also created all these other directories. Now, all these other directories are actually related to the brew for your iOS device. But then here, now it's getting a little crazy here, where it says command line tools will be installed for xCode. So you giving permission not just for the creating the folders and subfolders and files inside, which is great, wonderful, but now you're authorizing xCode. So now xCode, they can actually remote into your computer, grab your password, do whatever else they need to do. So here it says press any key to continue if you want to authorize this install. So what it does is right here, because now they have your password because you authorized it up here at the top. Right here, as you can see, there's sudo command. So now they have a sudo command that goes into your library, entering data. So I haven't really looked over this, but it looks like user shared, SCH, site functions. So this is mostly homebrew stuff. That's homebrew. That's frameworks. That's actually, even though it's homebrew there, but it's frameworks here is for your home. Home drive. Here we go. Oh, these are caches, so you don't have to really worry about that. You know, you can use. I use Clean My Mac, and I uninstalled this program, Chainrain, and I also did a cleanup and so forth. So it removed a lot of these directories that I already created it. So, but then here it says also searching online for command line tools. So now here it's taking control of my touch. So that's my touch bar. This is my command line tools for install on demand in progress. So now they're installing additional tools, and here is my Mojave 10.14, xCode 10.13. So now here, look, even software update. They even have ways to get into my software update. Yeah, software update is software update. But you know what? Again, you don't know if there's additional tools that they're installing, like maybe remote access, maybe they're copying your keychain and so forth. So here it says downloading the line tools and so forth. So I'm going to get to the point of the end of this video of why you have to be cautious of this. So there it is. There's the developer command line tools again. So marinating. These are all the files. These are all the new tags that they're putting in for the Homebrew and so forth, so it can compare to say, hey, you have this and you have this version and blah blah blah, so forth. So head is now is here, merge pull. So there was something interesting that popped up. So as I go down here, let's see, remote. Here we have cloning into Homebrew. So the Homebrew is the app that they're installing. Remote, and then computing objects, total objects. This is actually uploading to the actual to your iOS device. So it's been already updated. Installation is successful. Homebrew has been anonymous. Aggregate, cask analytics. Here's a website you can go to if you wanted to. I don't know what this website will show us, but let's check it out. Homebrew, anonymous, why? So this is all information that's probably good for you guys to read up so you know what they're doing and what they're installing. But again, you always have to be careful with these things. So let's go back here really quick. So this is pretty much almost all done. Here it gives you URLs, which is great, but I would say for these URLs that they create, it should like open your browser or so forth, because no one really ever looks at this stuff. I do, because I'm always cautioned to see what's going on. But here you can pay to the volunteers that created this. Alright, so now you have the installing Linus Build. This is all stuff that is installing into the device, so here's SSH, that's to the device of the iOS. Provided by Luke, the luck guy. Do not use this tool for legal purposes, etc., etc. And it says here, please jailbreak using Chainrain. Connect your device to your Mac, blah, blah, blah. I did that. Press Enter. SSH over USB. Other than that, right, that's it. And then from this point where it says warning, permanently date added, blah, 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 this actually adds a file directly to your SSH in your directory on your Mac that has all this stuff recorded and your password, so they can get in whenever they want to. So now it says here again, Chainrain iCloud bypass. Okay, from this point here to this point here, connection to local host closed by remote host. Between here and here, it'll take like a good 4 or 5 minutes. So don't even do anything with your phone or so forth. So let me get out of here. Let's make sure this is saved just for record keeping. Alright, so what the problem is, and which is great, this works, the problem is, here's the device. Okay, now, according to him, on his video, he couldn't access certain sites or couldn't do certain things. So as you can see, if we get out of here, and you can do sign into your iPhone. Okay, now you can put your Apple ID and so forth. Great. The fault problem is if you go to your app store, you have, like say YouTube, I was going to try to download, hit get, and it just spins. and I was stuck on this for like a good 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and then it goes back to get. So you can't download apps. So basically, it bypassed the iCloud for you to get into your device, except your iPhone or that specific iPhone that you're connected using with is still locked. It's still activation locked. So if you wanted to put in your SIM card, it's not going to work because it disables the SIM card, the cellular capability, and it also disables anything related to Apple. So if you wanted to do the iTunes Store, you can go to the iTunes Store or to the App Store, but you cannot go to like if you cannot download these or so forth. So I tried to log in with my Apple ID. It kept spinning, 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 and then it bounced back, and then I was back at the. So here I was not here. Here I logged into here where it says sign into my iPhone, put in my Apple ID, and it just didn't work. It bounced back and kicked me off. So I couldn't do that. So then I said, let me go to Safari. So I went to Safari. I was able to surf, but I can't download apps, so I can't use Chrome, I can't use Edge, I can't use Firefox, or whatever you want. So I went to here to Safari, and yeah, I can play it. And let me raise volume. Oh, because I probably. Oh no, because it's connected through the Lightning port. So the Lightning port is not going to play my audio. But this is one of my other videos, and you can see in the bottom left corner there, 4:59, 5 minutes. So it's actually working. So the thing is, do you want to use this process check rain, bypass the iCloud? Okay, but it doesn't fully bypass it. It's still, as you can see, it's still physically locked. Now you can say, oh, maybe it just didn't work for you. No, it worked exactly the same as the guy on this YouTube channel, except you're taking the loss of saying, oh my gosh, you know what? This is actually, like he's over here on his phone. Where is it? See, he's on the store as well. But then here he has Cydia installed. So the loader installed Cydia, but on 0.95 beta of CheckRain, it did not install it. So let me go back to the home, and if I go here, you can see there's nothing here. If I go here, there's no Cydia there either. So if the people out there, the developers, can create something that can do the Cydia separately, or maybe do it through a URL where they can just type it in and then do the Cydia apps, that'd be great. But right now you're kind of restricted. Now I bypass this phone. It's an iPhone 6. It's I think it's 16 gigabytes or something. I don't know. It won't tell me because I'm stuck here at the activation lock. But yeah, so watch out when you use CheckRain. Or just wait, be patiently and wait for the new version that comes out. Hopefully it would resolve it, install the Cydia where it removed it in 0.95, where in 0.93 it installed it. So there's another glitch to it. Also, all your iOS devices, all your iOS apps are inaccessible. You cannot use them. So if I do iTunes Music, so we go here, nothing's playing, so do heart, and you can see, look, it just gives you a white page, it loads, it's not as so let's hit none. So it says looking for music will appear here, and you can see there's no music that appears. Let's try radio. Okay, radio appears. Let's go back to music. No. So let's see, we'll do radio. Unable to start station, there's a problem starting your station. And the problem is starting your station is not because you need to enter your Apple ID, and it's pretty much because this CheckRain blocks all that. So it's just like blocking an FTP site, HTTP site, or secure site on your Mac or on your firewall. It's the same thing that did it on the iPhone. It blocked all that stuff. So you can't do anything. All you can do is go to Safari and surf the web. So what fun is that once you unlock the device? Now for those individuals that are out there that are like trying to, oh great, I have an iCloud locked device. Now I can sell it. And when you try to sell it, the problem is someone's going to put in their SIM card in it. Hey, let me check it out, see if it works. It doesn't work, and now that person is not going to buy the phone. So, unless you sell it off on eBay and you say it's iCloud unlocked, but you can show pictures that it's iCloud unlocked. You can show here. I can even show you the. We go here. I can show you the serial number. It's an iPhone, etc., etc. But the thing is, once they plug it into their iTunes, here, so I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to plug it back in. And, this is a channel I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. I just want to make sure you guys know what you're getting into before you run these apps. Because you're thinking, yeah, great, it's iCloud locked, but it's not fully unlocked. It's still locked, even though here in the settings, if I go here to general, not general, if I go here and then I go into, where was it? Here, up here at the top. And on the screen it shows, hey, you can enter your Apple ID, but technically you can't because it's still locked. So, and the reason is because here, on this device, all the ports are blocked, or the links that are blocked to go to Apple's server to validate, and that's why you have issues with the iTunes Store, or let's do Apple TV. It's not communicating to the Apple server. Some things are, but then when you start doing this, okay, so there you have a TV show. We're going to go hit play free episode. See, as you can see, play free episode. I keep touching it, and it's not doing nothing. It doesn't even load it because it's blocked on your device. So it's not talking to the Apple servers. So that's why it says, hey, there's no iCloud. What are you talking about? But since my Mac is talking to the Apple servers, then it pops up and it says, oh, this device is still locked. So what are you talking about? So just something you guys got to figure out and make sure you be careful on that. All right, other than that, that's all I have. If you feel free to subscribe to my channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. I do have on my channel by visiting iOSGenius.com. It will take you to my YouTube channel, and you can definitely subscribe. I also have GSX access for the Apple access, what people do at the Apple Store and logging in. I also do have here somewhere that there is an activation unlock on my channel, but it's doing the legal way. So we'll say activation unlock, and there it is, full unlock. And this is full unlock. This is when you go through this process, see that's asking for an Apple ID, so forth. You can go through this process, but what it basically does, it gives me, there it is, right there. So there's Genius, there's me up there, and right there it's giving me an activation lock bypass. This is coming directly from Apple. And I put in this code into the device, which will be right. And you put that in the device, like see how it's iCloud lock? So instead of putting the Apple ID, you just put in the password itself. And let me see if I can enlarge this a little bit more. This is I'm just doing it as an iPad. So you got to put in that password exactly what it is. And I'm trying to get to it. Come on. It's a very long password. Alright, so this is the password I put in. There's me, Jam Genius. That's if you go to jamgenius.com, it would be as well. So there it is. So now I just have to hit the next button. And as you can see, it's iCloud lock. So I matched it from the website. Now it's configuration. There you go. It bypassed that Apple. See, bypass, and there you go. I'm on the. So you can check out this video. I can put this link down in the video, and you can see how that works. But yeah, it actually works. It's fully unlocked. You can do your apps and everything, all your Apple stuff. Whereas Check Rain, it is just blocking the certain ports off that iOS device so it doesn't communicate to the Apple servers, preventing the access of using any of the apps. And again, if they can go ahead and find a way so you can go to the home and do it through Safari or do it through CheckRain, maybe a newer version of CheckRain will actually allow the Cydia to install, and then they'll be great there too. But again, now you're just using this device as an iPod, not an iPhone. So there's a cautionary period that you have to worry about. All right, well, thanks again. Feel free to visit jamgenius.com as well as iOSGenius. And thanks for your time on this. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Also, make sure you are only on 13.2.2 and older to 12.iOS, or else this process will not work. All right, well, thanks for visiting. Subscribe and like the button if you enjoy it. Thanks.